Welcome back to We Need to Talk About This. Hi, everybody. I'm your host, Chuck Oliveris. We finally made it to North Carolina, our new location. Last we talked, which was a little over, I want to say, 2 weeks ago, a little over 2 weeks ago, when we started on this journey moving from California out to the East Coast here to North Carolina. And we've got this beautiful property. I call it the Oliveris Ranch. It's not really a ranch. There's no, we don't have any personal animals on here other than our dog and a bunch of squirrels and deer. Uh, but in any case, that's what it feels like to us. And it's really just the most amazing atmosphere ever. So as you can see behind me, there's really nothing but woods. And it's kind of cool. There's a bunch of trails out there that you can take. We've got some deer feeder things out here and stuff. And it's basically 43 acres of beauty. And it's been interesting acclimating from California back out here to the East Coast. I lived out here years ago in Atlanta, near Atlanta. But here we are in the beautiful Carolinas. And we're going to talk a little bit before I get to the funny stuff about the trip and how it went and everything, because we were kind of concerned about it. And if you've ever moved like really, really far, like the whole trip, the total hours were supposed to be 39 hours and something. We did stop. We stopped in a couple places, and I'll talk about that as well. But what a journey with just me and Dalton and everything we own in our car and a dog in the back seat. Some of you have done this and done that trip before. Like I said, I did it when I was younger, but I did all the driving, and we geared it around 9 hours a day and stuff. And it was interesting because everywhere you went was a different place, right? So it's really a long haul. And by the last 2 hours of every day, I wanted to just turn into the Hulk and scream because I just wanted out of the car, even at the 9 hour mark. So that tells you how old I'm getting. But we made it, and look at what we made it to. I mean, come on. We were a little nervous about it. We weren't sure how it was going to go here, what it was going to be like. By the way, you might hear some gunshots in the background because there are guys hunting and stuff way out past our property mark on our 43 acres. And once in a while, you hear a couple gunshots, and the wind will kick up here and there a little bit. Not bad, though. I wanted to do the first podcast. This is episode 48 of We Need to Talk About This, a whole new podcast as far as I'm concerned, because now we're out here in the woods and we're tucked way back in here. If you didn't know we were here, you wouldn't know. So we're really excited to have our friends visit and check it out and share some of the stuff that we've found around here. Now, we are in Bladen County, North Carolina. Bladen County is one of the oldest counties, from what I understand. And there's a lot of cool places here. So like about 10 minutes away, we have Elizabethtown, which is a quaint little town, little clock towers on the sidewalk and stuff. Some great, there's a great breakfast place there, a great little main street that I guess they dress up for Christmas. So that Southern hospitality is everywhere, and it's really kind of cool. There's some good food out here. You got to find it just like any place. So we've got Elizabethtown about 20 minutes away. Lumberton is not very far from us. Lumberton's got everything you need, Walmart, everything. So it's kind of nice to know that we can come home to this, and if we want something, we're not very far away to just jump in the car and go down and get it. So we've been here about, like I said, 2 weeks, a little over, a couple day or two. Already got our North Carolina driver's license, got our license plates today. So we are official Carolinians, or whatever they call us out here. And some very nice people too. And like I said, we've got some great stuff around us. There's a winery I discovered the other day. It's the Cape Fear Vineyard and Winery. Beautiful property right on the Cape Fear River, which we pass every day going into Elizabethtown. If you ever saw the movie Cape Fear with Robert De Niro, so that's the Cape Fear River. It's very big, and it's very populated in the summertime, from what I understand, with kayaks and things like that. Super cool. But this vineyard I'm talking about is the most beautiful property I've ever seen. So I already said that I was going to make sure that anyone who visited us got to go over there with us and check that place out. You can even rent some very high-end cool cottages for $165 a night right on the Cape Fear River in that winery. There's a bar there. Obviously, there's a winery. There's a day spa, and they do a lot of weddings and stuff there. So close to us, a lot of things to get to without taking very long to get there. Some of our longer treks might be Raleigh, North Carolina. Want to get up there. Definitely want to go into Virginia and see Virginia Beach and all that. So there's just a lot of options. We're very neutral in our location where we're living now to get to see all kinds of different things that are not that far away from us. And trust me, after doing a 39-hour drive out here from California, yeah, I think 8 hours isn't too bad. If you see me waving stuff, it's because I got some wasps out here, and they're kind of annoying. And we haven't sprayed the deck yet. We need to do that. So they, for some reason, been hanging around this big tree behind me. And that's a new thing. So we got a wasp thing to deal with. So here we are, episode 48. We made it after the long drive. I'll just talk real quick about the trip. I'm not going to bore you too much with it, but there is some stuff to tell you about. Our first stop was in Flagstaff, Arizona. And I think of Arizona as always being hot. So years ago, I worked for Tower Records, and I had a couple Tower Record stores in Phoenix and Tempe and a couple other places there, but never in Flagstaff. And like I said, the only thing I ever knew about Flagstaff is that's where Chevy Chase left Aunt Edna at the uncle's house or something in vacation. But in any case, we get into Flagstaff, and it was cold as hell. And a bunch of people, my sister included, who travels for her job, everybody told me it's Flagstaff, dude, and that is the only place in Arizona that can be really, really cold. Well, it was, and I was freezing when we were there. So that was our first stop, the first day. Got in there, spent the night there, didn't hang around there too long, took off the next morning, and then we went into Amarillo, Texas. Now, when we got into Amarillo, Texas, it was pretty cool. It was a bigger city than I expected. I'd never been to Amarillo. Been to Dallas, Fort Worth, and a lot of other places in Texas. Big old state, of course. But Amarillo was pretty cool. But all our friends, including our friend Chris Hange over in Three Rivers back there in California, who we just left, she had told us about this place called the Big Texan and how we needed to go there and have a steak. And apparently they've shot movies there and stuff. If you're a personal friend of mine on social media, you probably saw the pictures of us having a we had a fat steak in there that night. So we did visit it. Our hotel is just across the freeway from it, the Big Texan. I'm sure a lot of you already know about this place, but if you're ever in Amarillo, you got to go to the Big Texan because it just was an unbelievable experience, super fun, great bar. They had this huge rocking chair that you can take a picture in and look like you're really small, those things. But just a very unique place, and a really cool bartender that was there the night we were working, or the night we went to eat, and she was really, really cool. So friendly atmosphere and all that. The Big Texan. Had a good time in Amarillo. Just one night there. We didn't push it past that. And then we went into Little Rock, Arkansas. So I don't want to piss anybody off, but it was not my favorite state. As a matter of fact, I didn't like it at all. Now, I'm sure that Arkansas, like where my cousin Nicole lives and my cousin Andy and Alex, I'm sure it's beautiful out wherever they're at. But where we were, I got a really bad vibe. And even my cousin said to me, the hotel that we had booked there, she said, wow, if I would have known you were down there, I would have told you don't go there. But it was basically downtown Little Rock, and it's kind of a shithole. And it reminded me of just a very shady atmosphere, the dark city, kind of San Francisco-y, but not San Francisco at night, dark, and a lot of bad people out on the sidewalks doing shit and stuff like that. Little Rock, Arkansas. I'm sorry, if you live there, I apologize, but I'm just telling you my experience was not good there. The hotel there was not great there either. That was very iffy and shady too, but and located in a really crazy area. But hey, what are you going to do, right? So Not my favorite place. I had not been to Arkansas at all before. I have other people have told me that the outskirts away from Little Rock and all that in Arkansas are absolutely beautiful, and I'm sure it is. But we were just off that East 40 highway that cuts across the United States, and so we were staying off of the highway for most of our overnight trips and stuff. So we got out of Little Rock and we headed into Nashville. I was super excited about this. Never been to Nashville, but we went. It was a great time. We thought Music Row was where all the country singers clubs are and stuff. And apparently the way it works is Broadway is where all the clubs are, and Music Row are where the recording companies are and stuff like that. So, and one thing I wanted to mention about the trip, we did not stay in that state, but when we went through Oklahoma, I have always made fun of Oklahoma and some of the southern states, like Tennessee and shit. And I got to tell you something, I take it all back because our experience in Oklahoma was wonderful. It was like the most beautiful, clean, friendly state I'd ever been to. And I said it a million times, I'll say it again. I could live there for sure. So we enjoyed Oklahoma a lot. Of course, the home of Blake Shelton and Garth Brooks. And then when we got into Tennessee, the cool thing about Tennessee before we hit Nashville was when you get to the state line coming in to Tennessee, you go over a bridge and you hit Memphis immediately. That's Memphis right there. It says, "Welcome to Tennessee, Memphis, Tennessee, blah, blah, blah," which automatically you go right to Elvis and Graceland and all that and stuff. And that was a pretty big city and pretty cool. We didn't hang around in that city. We just kind of went through it as we crossed the state line and stuff and got to check it out and go over the river and everything. Beautiful, real clean, real nice there too. State of Tennessee, just like Oklahoma. Loved it. Clean, friendly people. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So when we got out of Nashville, of course, our hotel was out of Memphis. Our hotel was in Nashville. So we were in Nashville for the night, booked our hotel, got an Uber, and we went and did Broadway. And that's how we found out Music Row and Broadway were two different things. So we went over to Broadway and we spent that evening hitting every club we could hit. Morgan Wallen's place, Post Malone's, Garth Brooks. In fact, we were talking to the bartender at Garth Brooks' place. And I said, "Hey, does he ever actually come in here and sing? I know a lot of the guys, Blake and those guys, Morgan do." And he goes, "Nah, he's never come in here and sang." He said, "But Trisha Yearwood, his wife, comes in on Thanksgiving and cooks dinner for everybody." So that's kind of become a tradition there, which I thought was kind of a nice thing. I don't know what Garth's doing these days, but he probably has time to go do a gig or two at his own club. But man, what a great time there in Nashville. All those clubs have live music. It's kind of like as you're walking down the sidewalk, you've got a band, all the windows are open, there's live music playing, there's another band on the second floor, another band on the third floor, and about 90% of those places have really cool rooftop bars. And I'm going to tell you, it's been the most fun I had in my entire life. Me and Dalton had a blast there. So much so that we extended our stay and stayed one more day and then went back the next afternoon and Ubered over there and hit all the clubs again, and our favorite ones, Jelly Rolls and a bunch of other places. Bunch of talented people, as you can imagine, in Nashville. All those bands that were performing at all those bars and clubs we went to, I really enjoyed all of them. I thought they were all so talented. And of course, they're all trying to get a record deal because they're in Nashville. So it makes total sense. So when we got done there, basically our last day was a 9-hour drive. That felt to me like it turned into a 15-hour drive. And maybe it's because it was the last haul of the trip getting into North Carolina. We made it into White Oak real late that night. I think it was already really pretty dark and stuff. So we didn't really get to see all this and our property until the next morning because it was so dark that night. So when we got to the house, we just kind of chilled in the house and went and met up with my in-laws who were down the driveway a bit on another piece of property here on the 43 acres. And so anyway, we didn't get to see this till in the morning time. And man, when we saw it in the morning, we came out here with coffee and I was like, wow, unbelievable. What a way to live. We've always kind of wanted to live in a secluded kind of atmosphere and stuff. And in Three Rivers, California, of course, had that. A couple of our homes there were a little more secluded than the last one we were in. But just this is a whole nother experience. It's so beautiful. So do we love it? Yes, we love it. North Carolina is amazing. It's beautiful. When you drive out of our 43 acres in the woods here and you hit the main road is beautiful. There's not 1,000 people on the road. We're out here a little bit. But again, it's nice that we can get in to do some of the excursions and check out what's around us, like the winery and the Cape River and all kinds of cool stuff. We have a lot more to explore, and I'm sure over the time on the podcast in the next couple of weeks, I'll be sharing stuff with you of things that we found or haven't found and stuff. But yeah, it's a blast. We're settled in. We're here. First podcast from the All Airs Ranch right here, and I'm kind of excited that we're doing it outside. We'll be moving inside later, and I'll probably get the mom-in-law on one of these with me out here on the deck when the weather's right to do it. So let's get into the funny stuff. I found a couple of things I thought I'd share with you guys this week, and let's talk about them. I didn't mean it. You know these. So what's interesting about these memes is I collected a few of them in anticipation for the first pod that I was going to do out here. But what's interesting is the meme thing is just crazy because everybody sees a lot of the same ones. And I've told you before, I try and share things I hadn't seen or maybe you hadn't seen before, because then I think it's a little more fun that way. But this really isn't anything funny, but it makes a lot of sense in the world we're living in today. So you see this little dude there, and then the big dude with all the umbrellas. It's not the needy who are a problem in this world. It's the greedy. And when you look at that picture and you read that, it really, really, really makes sense. And that's kind of how everything's become, huh? Because there's a lot going on. So when I looked at that, I'm like, oh, I got to share that one because it's exactly how I feel right now about a lot of stuff. And then I found this picture, and I forget what the story was to these three guys, but I thought to myself, if I ever need bodyguards, even though I used to be one, if I ever needed them, I'd want 3 bodyguards that look like these guys. Do you see what I'm saying here? But seriously, big guys like that, yes, nobody would fuck with you. They'd be like, oh shit, I ain't even going near that dude. They're huge, right? Look at these guys. Oh my God. I'd be like, excuse me, sir, can I get you a cheeseburger? So I thought that was kind of cool, those 3 guys. They were huge. I thought this was funny too. Look, never judge a book by its cover. Except that one. Seriously, put it down. That's, yeah. Right? Because if you were to pick up a book like that, damn well you'd be like, oh, I am going to judge it by its cover. This is scary, right? Like my best friend doesn't dig Ouija boards, and I always crack up about it. I'm always trying to get him to get one or play with one or something. He's like, no, he'll never. He's just like frightened of them. He's had a lot of experiences paranormally and supposed ghosts and things like that in places he's lived. So he's just really paranoid about the Ouija board, which is weird to me because when I was a kid, me and my sisters had one and we played with that damn Ouija board all the time. So kind of funny. Next meme, check this out. It says, step 1, ask Marie out. Step 2, buy Marie coffee. Step 3, finger Marie. Hey. Oh, no. That's bad. Bad Chuck. It's not my meme. I'm just sharing it with you for laughter. A lot more relaxed these days, so I'm laughing a lot. You know what I mean? Moving on to my next one. This was kind of cool, right? You don't work, you don't cook, clean, or give head. Legally, my client is entitled to a side bitch or two. So in a divorce proceeding, right? I love it too. I love the way the attorney's so professional. Look, ma'am, you don't work, cook, clean, or you don't give head. Legally, my client's entitled to a side bitch or two. I'm sure a lot of people feel that way. Raunchy. And you got this one. Now stop it. Stop it right now. I see what you're doing. It's just boots and a hard hat, you sick fucks. It's okay. It's okay because when I first saw it, I did the same thing. I was like, what in the hell is that? Because at a glance, right, you see these memes and they have a bunch of these like this where it has something like that. And then you're like, what is that? Oh my God. That one's funny though, because it looks legit like a vibrator or something. But you see these things all the time. This was really interesting. It's not really a funny thing, but it's a really cool thing. Check this out. So this guy right here. So you see the picture of him hanging onto the helicopter here, or the rope to the helicopter. It says he caught the rescue line 5 times. 5 times he passed it to someone else. By the time they came back for him, he was gone. They call him the man in the water. So there's a bigger story to this, and I'm going to research it a little bit, find out who the guy was. But apparently this dude was, helping everybody else first. And then by the time they went back to get him, he was gone. That sucks, right? That's the kind of luck I have, right? If I had no bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. So my mother-in-law was talking last night. I think it was last night we were having dinner. And she was talking about the beaver moon. And every time she said beaver, we would crack up because we're like, what are you talking about? Why are you saying beaver? Don't need the mom-in-law saying beaver. And then I told her, I said, I actually saw a meme the other day with the cast of Leave It to Beaver. And so her beaver moon thing was killing me. So I'll show it to you here. Here it is. So there's Hugh right there, Beav's dad. And he says, that's not what I meant, June. And then look at Beaver. She shaved Beaver's head. That's a beaver moon. What's up, Beav? Hey, Wally. What's up, Wally? I used to love the beaver. So wholesome, right? Definitely nothing nasty going on there on that show, that's for sure. And we got our next one. Here's a picture of me having fun at the gym. Yeah, I couldn't picture that shit either. Yeah, that's why there's nothing. Yeah. Are you kidding me? I haven't been to the gym in years. It's hard to go to the gym. Everybody joins. Everybody says, I'm going to work out every day. I'm going to get up every morning and go to the gym, blah, blah, blah. And then that one time you skip, you don't ever go back, and it sucks. And you still pay the monthly fee and stuff. So why stop doing it? So that meme was personal to me. And I thought about this meme thing because we started the I didn't meme it thing from the very first podcast. And I thought to myself, what kind of title is this for someone who's just sharing memes and cracking up at them like everybody else? And I thought, well, I'm a Facebook meme relocation and redistribution operative. And I like that title, right? I'm an operative. Shit, isn't everybody an operative these days? Can't trust anybody. So I thought that title kind of fit. Kind of what I do sometimes. This was kind of funny. I always thought all the times I spent growing up in the Bay Area in the traffic trying to get across the Bay Bridge to get home to the East Bay or whatever, and I'd just be exhausted, and all I could think about is I just want to get to the house and maybe smoke a little pot and relax. And then I saw this meme and it cracked me up, and I thought it'd be great if you saw this on your way home, right on the road sign there. Smile, there's weed at home. Hey, that's a good reason to smile. That one's good. I like that. And if somebody would actually do that on one of the highways, I just think it'd be great. It would just like cheer everybody up for their day. You know what I mean? Yeah. Smile, there's weed at home. Okay. Then we got this guy here. He says, I farted in my wallet. Now I have gas money. It's still funny though, right? I farted in my wallet. Now I have gas money. What's weird is I feel like I've seen this old guy in something else, like a medication commercial. Ask your doctor if this guy's been in every other medication commercial. It's killing me. Oh, which brings me to something. It's a southern thing, right? So as soon as we hit the southern states, me and Dalton had been listening to every country music station we could find and stuff. because country music while you're on the road is awesome. But anyway, there was this one commercial that kept coming up and kept coming up. And it was for, I think it was for obesity, but we heard it so many times that like the third or fourth time, I said to Dalton, is this guy saying what I think he said? We hear this all the time, and it's hilarious. So it made sense that it was coming on Southern radio, but it's this guy that says, are you over 50? Are you Porky? And I remember saying to Dalton, did he say Porky? And then his commercial continues and he says, call Big Lou. Big Lou's just like you. He's on medication too. And me and Dalton looked at each other and said, what the hell? And apparently there's a Big Lou guy, but it plays over and over and over. And it came on so many times. Are you over 50? Are you Porky? Why, yes, I am. You know, call Big Lou. Big Lou's like you. He's on medication too. Interesting, isn't it? Everybody's on medication, right? Yeah, so I think that guy right there, yeah, him, I think he's been on a medication commercial. I know he never did a fart wallet thing, so. And then I found this meme, and this killed me because when I was growing up with my sisters, we would torture each other. Mostly I would torture them. And this is one of the things I would torture them with. You all remember the playgrounds that had these metal merry-go-rounds right here, right? Kids getting thrown off right and left, total carnage, wails of anguish. Not one adult gave a single shit about it. And what's funny about it is we would go up to Lake Chabot Park, where I grew up in Castro Valley up in the East Bay, and they had one of those. And my sisters would lay on it or grab on it, and I would go, okay. I'm like, check it out. I would spin it and spin it and spin it and spin it like the fastest I could do it. And they would fly off and hurt themselves, and then I'd get in trouble. So I know everybody could relate to that little merry-go-round. Here's a good one, though. Here you go. If you tell your children that if they stand in the dark in the bathroom and say, Shamon, 3 times, ee-hee-hee, will appear in the mirror. That's a scary Shamon. Ee-hee-hee. Yeah, it's Michael. That's Mr. Jackson. I kind of like that one, don't you? Kind of creepy and freaky all at the same time. Hey, I want to show you this one because this cracked me up. Some of you will remember the old comedian Gallagher. He used to smash watermelons all the time and stuff. And that was the thing about his act, crush watermelons at the end. So here's what kills me, right? Look at this meme right here, cracks me up. He says, I'd hit that. And he would, because that was his thing. But the way he's looking at it, 2 watermelons together. Okay, here's a quick one. And everybody has to say, what's what on this one. But I'll tell you mine. Here it is, right here. The Duke Boys versus the Bandit. You make the call. I'm going to tell you right now. Burt and Leon Reynolds. That's who. Fuck Bo Duke and them. The Bandit. Eastbound and down, baby. One of the memes that cracked me up the most this week I found is this one here. It shows the guy walking over to him at the urinal, peeing right next to him. We've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty. And that's fucking hilarious. Because we all get those phone calls, right? Yeah. We're running out of time. Yeah, I know that's funny, right? We're running out of time, but I want to read this to you. This is a real obituary of this lady and what the family said. Look at this. So according to her children and her published obituary, Kathleen did not light up a room. Kathleen Demlow Schnunk was born on March 19, 1938 to Joseph and Gertrude Schnunk of Wabasso. She married Dennis Demlow at St. Anne's in Wabasco 1957 and had 2 children, Gina and Jay. In 1962, she became pregnant by her husband's brother, Lyle, and moved to California. This is in her obituary. She abandoned her children, Gina and Jay, who were raised by her parents in Clements, Mr. and Mrs. Joseph Schnunk. She passed away on March 31st, 2018 in Springfield and will now face judgment. She will not be missed by Gina and Jay, and they understand that the world is a better place without her. Oh my God. That's a real deal. That's such good stuff, isn't it? Imagine somebody doing that to you. Real quick, we got a little bit of pop news. This was kind of exciting this week. I was glad to hear this, but Robert Englund finally got his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame for his Freddy Krueger Nightmare on Elm Street series, and there he is getting it there. So I'm glad he's finally getting his due there. Because that guy was scary, right? And one of the things that was scary about Freddy was they didn't show him all the time in the first one, and that's what made him more frightening. Breaking news, I want to let you know the police have confirmed the man who tragically fell from the roof on the 18th floor nightclub was not a bouncer. I'm sorry, it's funny. Fell from the roof, not a bouncer. All right. That's it for this week. We're going to be back regularly every 2 weeks now that we're settled in here in North Carolina at the Oliveras Ranch. Want to So you lost me, didn't you? I was just going to say that I wanted to have or do a shout out to my mother-in-law because today is her birthday, Gloria Wagner. Gloria Wagner Howard. It's her birthday. And here's mom right here. Yep, celebrated this morning, had a little breakfast with her over at their property, and had a really good time with some sausage and grits and bacon. I didn't eat the grits. I'm not a grits guy. So anyway, this is episode 48. We're back to our regular thing every 2 weeks. I'm Chuck Oliveris. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. We're finally here, and it sure is beautiful, and we got a lot more to do with you. We'll see you in about 2 weeks. Have a great 2 weeks, everybody.